Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Come on in and say hello as you jump on, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And also, whether you're watching live or on the replay, join in and participate with answering questions, providing feedback, asking questions. And if you happen to be watching this on the replay, I will come back around and answer your questions or respond to your comments, etc. So we are here right now for the Leo, New Moon, and Virgo season live. I am live. If you see the little red rectangle dish there that says live, I'm also live in two places. I'm live on my YouTube channel and my Moon Manifesting Rockstars Facebook group. So if you see me respond to a comment or something that you don't see, it's likely that it is on the other platform. So let me make sure I can see comments on the Facebook, in the Facebook group. Just kind of an FYI, somewhere near the top of the live or the video, and kind of, I think, to the side, one side, there should be something that asks you for permission, and that's just allowing StreamYard to show me your name on the StreamYard platform. But if you don't see that or you don't choose to, I can see the group on my phone. So I am able to see things that way. And we should be ready to go. Okay. So there are some new people that have come into the group recently. That is always exciting. And so welcome, whether you are returning to these lives, new to these lives, or you just happen to come across it and you're not sure what you are watching or what it's about. You are also new, I suppose. And so excited to be here. These are these lives I do twice a month, one a day, kind of like 1 to 3 days before the new moon, and also 1 to 3 days before the full moon, to help you get to know and get familiar with the zodiac, how you can work with it, and setting intentions with the moon and goals with the sun, the sign the sun is in. And if all that sounds like a foreign language to you, do not worry. You will start to get the hang of it, and I encourage you to ask questions from wherever you are. And so these replays will remain available in both places, Facebook group and YouTube channel. So if you want to refer back at any time or check it out, that's always available for you. So we have the Leo new moon coming up on Wednesday, I believe, which is the 16th. Let me make sure that's right. Yes, Wednesday, the 16th of August, we will have the new moon in Leo. And then a few days after that, about a week, exactly a week after that, on the 23rd of August, we will hit Virgo season. So everyone who is a Virgo will start having birthdays. So that includes my mom in that group. So she is a September Virgo. So towards the end of Virgo season, but she is included in that group. So I think we are all set. I'm going to share a little bit about the Leo new moon, some associations, and also how you can connect that with upcoming Virgo season. What else did I have to tell you? Tomorrow, if you're watching this live or in the next, let's see. So today I'm recording this live on August 14th of 2023. So if you're watching this live or anytime within the next, I think 2 weeks-ish or so, on August 15th, which is tomorrow, I am having the free monthly class in the Moon Manifesting Rockstars Facebook group, which is it's an astrology class this month, and it's about using the zodiac sign to know what area of life to work on, like setting the new moon intentions and working with the sign that the sun is in for setting goals. And so I'm going to be talking to you overall, kind of very generally. And then there are also ways to personalize that for you based on your specific birth chart. And I will talk a lot more about that on the class. So the reason I mentioned the time frame is because the replay will be available until about the end of the month, which is like August 30th or somewhere in there, right around the time of the full moon that's coming up. And then the free class replay will come down, and there'll be another free class next month. And so if you want to attend the class live, all you have to do is be here in the group, and you can join in live and catch the replay. If you choose not to, be in the group, or it's just easier for you to join by Zoom, then I will be providing links and all that towards the end where you can register to get the Zoom link to join live. And also the replay link will be sent out to everyone who registers, and it will be available the same amount of time as it is here or as it is in the Facebook group. So I think that is at least most, if not all, of the housekeeping, kind of just like what is coming up soon. I will talk about at the end as well that on the 27th of August, I will be having a Blue Moon Vision Board workshop. This is very special. My business is named Blue Moon Manifestations. The idea for it was born at a blue moon. And so the blue moons do not happen every year. It's generally in the neighborhood of about 2 to 3 years-ish, but I will get into all that. So you will also find the links somewhere around this video. If you're watching in the Facebook group, I will post the links towards the end of the video in the comments, and you will be able to look that up on the replay. Just find the links. And if you ever have any questions about scheduling, what's happening when, it can be a little bit much to navigate as you kind of get used to where I have things and such. Always the best way to contact me is by email. And the email is vision, VISION, at bluemoonmanifestations.com. So, and I'll be revisiting all that. So no need to worry at all. Okay, why is this off center for me here? To make sure I can see all my notes. Here we go. Okay. So, and truth be told, I mean, I didn't plan it this way, but earlier today, and it's just like one of those things that goes along with perspective. Earlier today, I had one of those moments where it's like you realize, oh man, it just fell through the cracks. A communication that I had was supposed to send out did not get sent out. And, basically like the dropping of the ball, if you will, but not like on a grand scale. It was like, oh man. And so I'm kind of in that, like, yes, steps were taken to correct it and do the best that we can moving forward. But also the reason I'm bringing this up is because working with the moon and with the lunar cycle, setting intentions, becoming the person who already has your dreams, these lessons come up to help us better be prepared in that future role. And so, yeah, it kind of sucks that happened. I was like, oh man, but also I am allowing myself at the same time to realize, okay, that was something pointed out to me that I can improve on. So by doing this work with the lunar cycle and learning how to follow the patterns and learning how to set intentions and learning how to take action and reflect on the things that are being presented to you, you start to realize and know that when things kind of feel crappy or something happens that is, doesn't feel so good, it's not that something is happening to you, like in a victim sense. That didn't feel great that I dropped the ball on that and didn't communicate didn't follow through with that communication, but that's showing me that moving forward, I need to better document that. I need a way to track my reminders or set reminders or find a better way to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that falls right in line with the overall word of the year that I have for this year, which is structure and discipline and things along those lines. So setting up these systems for my business so that it doesn't snowball and happen later when it would be potentially more of a, or a less, more of a, what's the right word? More of a less desirable effect. Now it's like, okay, not so great, but it's fixable and nothing catastrophic happened. And so moving forward, that is a lesson for me. And I share about my lunar lessons every single month in my podcast, the Rockstar Manifestors podcast. And so I do a monthly lunar lessons episode, and that I will go more into in the podcast, and that will be available this coming up weekend. So just some other alternative resources for you and ways to kind of learn about the lunar system, the lunar cycle, and how I share my experiences with you, because I'm going through the same processes as well. All right, the Leo new moon. The Leo new moon will be on August 16th of 2023, like I said, and the new moon, working with the lunar cycle in general, the new moon is a time to get to know, tap into, absorb the energy and wisdom available from the zodiac sign that the new moon is in. It's in a different zodiac sign every single new moon, most of the time. There are, of course, exceptions. And so each zodiac sign has its own flavor, has its own traits and its own focuses and characteristics. And so that includes the element of each sign, the placement, like on the zodiac wheel, the zodiac chart, and the planets that are associated with that zodiac sign. So all of those things contribute and give you possible focuses to help you work on areas of your life. Like I said, I'll go into that focus more in detail in tomorrow's free class. But Leo is the lion. So if you're all familiar with the zodiac signs or the glyphs, if you will, Leo is the lion. It is the second of the fire signs, and when you're following the zodiac calendar, Aries being the first fire sign. So Leo's the second fire sign. There are 3 signs in each element around the zodiac chart. And let's see, what did I have here? La, 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 la. Oh, I did want to say also, in going with each zodiac has its own flavor and its own focuses, then we use that zodiac sign that the new moon is in as the guide or like the overarching umbrella for that lunar cycle. And that is like, if you think of it like the theme of an adventure. Like if you're going on a themed adventure, you will still experience other things and go through processes, but the overall theme could be like a jungle adventure, or it could be a desert adventure, or an ocean adventure, but you're still going to experience the other zodiacs and the other, the process of the waning cycle, the waxing cycle, taking action, reflecting on the things that you realize are standing in your way or stories that come up. So all those things happen. The zodiac just flavors that adventure, the theme of the adventure through each lunar cycle. So Leo is the lion. You can expect to feel, like I said, this is a time to tap into the energy and wisdom feelings associated with the zodiac. You can expect to feel brave, proud, possibly think of the lion, the lion's pride. Creative is a very great trait. Creativity is a great trait of Leo, and maybe even a little bit dramatic. Maybe even a little dramatic. And that's not a bad thing. There are extremes on both ends, but those are the general. There's more, but those are the general flavors for Leo. So with the new moon, with the Leo new moon, this would be a great time to set intentions to feel braver, to feel more courageous, to step into that bravery and courage to follow some dreams, to pursue some goals, maybe even set goals that feel a little bit out of reach, and tap into that courage and allow the creativity to come through in how you pursue it. Be open and receptive to these themes and these energies as you set your intentions, as you take action towards your intentions, and as you let go of the stories, resistances, blocks, if you will, that come up along the way. Leo is also a great time to roar your truth, if you will. So speak your mind, speaking your opinion, not letting others overpower you, not necessarily in a confrontational sense, but again, stepping into that courage and that bravery to say what you need or want to say. And step into that spotlight a little bit. And I learned a great example to show the differences between these energies, like the less desirable traits of Leo, the healthy traits of Leo, and the in progress, kind of the in between traits of Leo, and how you can nurture the great ones and work on the less desirable ones. I learned this from a friend of mine, Anna, and if you guys are familiar with the Sisters Enchanted, you may have heard this, but she shared once talking about Leo with the 3 lions, the main lions of the Lion King, with Mufasa, the dad, being the midline, right? He's confident, he's not cocky, he leads, he's fair, he's kind, he looks after his pride. And then Simba is the cub who's not yet developed. He's not fully stepped into his Leo traits. He's impressionable. He's practicing that little lion roar, right? That doesn't sound big like Mufasa's, but you have to start practicing somewhere. And then the third one is Scar, who is the shadow side of the Leo characteristics, if you will. Very entitled, very feeling like things are against him, and he's just deserving simply because, not because he's done anything or anything other than he just is. And when he does get in charge, he does not take care of his pride. He's not a good leader, right? So each zodiac sign has those 3 types of faces to it, if you will. The positive or helpful traits, the shadow traits, and the becoming, like the youngster getting started and choosing, having the ability to choose which way they're going to go because they're not quite fully developed into the archetype of the zodiac. So the new moon in Leo is an opportune time to start new projects, that go after those dreams, channel some creativity. If you are someone who typically does not feel creative or does not make time for creativity or really does not know what creativity looks like for you, that is a beautiful intention to set, to feel creative, express your creativity, and explore what your your style of creativity is, and be open to opportunities that allow you the time to explore, or the opportunity to try new ways of being creative. This is also a great time to embrace this, embrace the opportunity for transformational shifts, like going from Simba into Mufasa, transforming into that higher future version of yourself by practicing and taking steps to become that person now. And also celebrating your successes, right? Celebrating your successes, being generous with your gifts, with your time, with your talent, with services that you offer. And that doesn't mean giving them away. It might just mean, hey, I have these services available, and letting people know about it. Or how can I help you? Or how can I, give of my time or of my knowledge, or whatever you have available to give. Generosity is another trait of Leo. Okay, so we set intentions at the new moon, and then at the first quarter moon, which is, let's see, the new moon is on August 16th, and Virgo season starts August 23rd. The first quarter moon is on August 24th. And the first quarter moon is when you start taking action towards your intention. So working with the lunar cycle is fabulous because it's not just like a one day and done. You have a range of time to work with each phase of the moon, and the zodiac. The moon stays in each zodiac sign about somewhere in the neighborhood between 2 and 3 days. So it's not like, oh, I missed it because it was like this hour of this day and now it's moved on. We have a time frame, which is fabulous because, who is always able to do things right at the new moon? You have several days to do your new moon work. That also allows you several days at the new moon to really feel into the Leo traits, to do some journaling, some reflecting, some pulling some cards, if you will, to help you identify the intention that is best for you, or for what you are working towards, how you can phrase your intention to help you move that way. And if you spend any amount of time here at Blue Moon Manifestations in any capacity, you will often hear me talk about setting feelings-based intentions. And I referenced it a little bit earlier in this chat. Setting intentions for Leo, and you will see a graphic on the day of the new moon on my social media channels with some suggestions, some ideas. But since we're talking about it here in the group today, I will share some of them with you. Some possible new moon intentions that you might want to set with Leo are feeling courageous, being creative, feeling supported. Let me see if I can actually pull up my graphic from I don't know if I can share it. I didn't set it up to share my screen, but what I can do is pull it up on my screen here. 16th. So here we go. Some possible Leo new moon intentions. Feelings-based intentions: feeling brave, feeling proud, to feel creative, to feel expressive. That goes into that roar, speaking your voice, feeling playful, like the lion cub. If you watch them, they spend their time, playing, eating, and sleeping. They're not always working. They only do the hard work of hunting, etc., at specific times. So incorporating and feeling playfulness. Incorporating playfulness and feeling playful, feeling confident, feeling courageous, strong, dramatic. That doesn't always have to have a negative connotation. Sometimes being dramatic is fabulous. I'm a Leo rising, and so I think I have a bit of flair for that at times, or that might be how people see me. And also, this might not be one that you have considered before. Feeling unbothered. Because think of a lion. Unless there's an immediate threat or something of concern, they're usually very relaxed. They're lounging, they're primping, they're napping, they are soaking up the sun. So feeling unbothered. This is a great intention, especially if you're someone that struggles with not letting the little things bother you. That little things, like things going wrong, throw you off kilter or off the rails, or, just kind of like, oh, it just ruins everything when things don't go as planned. So feeling unbothered. I was very, I did not come up with it. It was, again, something I learned by researching and looking into this feelings-based intentions for each zodiac sign. So let me know if any of these are intentions, feelings-based intentions that resonate with you, or if you have your own feelings-based intention that you're working on or will be working on manifesting this lunar cycle. And when I talk about manifesting the feeling, so setting an intention that is feelings-based, and then manifesting that feeling, this is why I love feelings-based intentions, because by setting an intention, I'm just going to say creative. I want to feel creative. I feel creative. I am creative. These are types of intentions that you set. And then you take action to feel that way, even if it feels awkward at first. So let's say I set an intention to feel creative. And in taking action, I sign up for an art class, or I look up even some type of art class on YouTube, or in a book, if I have an art book, or check an art book out of the library, or get one on Kindle, whatever the case is, and try something new. Try being creative. Even if it doesn't end up being the thing that I love to do, it will likely open the door to another one. Like if I tried painting and that wasn't really the thing, it's like, oh, painting's not so much, but let me try this instead. So you keep looking for the action that will manifest the feeling. And then when you start to feel creative, you find the thing or things, multiple is fine. You find the things that you love to do that make you feel creative, that you intentionally start making time for because you like the way it feels. You start thinking differently, possibly. You look at creative ways to solve problems. You look at creative ways to take action towards that next goal. You look at creative ways to get around or pivot when things don't go the right way. So you start looking at things differently. Creativity is like a magnet for new ideas, new ways of doing things. Coming up with an idea that, maybe you've been sitting there pondering and trying to force your brain to come up with something, but you go do something creative and all of a sudden, poof, here pops in an idea because you let go of needing to find it, needing to get that answer, and you allowed yourself to have a little fun. Maybe even get a little messy, depending on the type of creativity that you participate in. And I also want to emphasize that creativity does not always have to be painting and drawing and things. You might be a genius at creating code or creating spreadsheets or organizing a kitchen or putting recipes together, being bold about the ingredients that you put together. There are so many ways to take action, to be creative, that you start feeling creative, which is manifesting the feeling. And then you start attracting opportunities to help you achieve the goals that you want to reach. And I've said this, I shared I think a story or a reel a while back about this, but I also like to say when setting an intention, you are planting the seeds. You are planting the seeds that will grow into a different result. Because if you think about planting a seed for a flower or a tree or whatever that looks like, the seed looks very different than the end result. Or the end result, I should say, looks very different than the seed, right? They don't resemble each other. But you need to start with that seed, with that tiny little seed compared to the end result, and let it grow. You need to nurture it. You need to find the things that work and don't work to grow that intention. And then you end up with this magnificent plant or tree or shrub, herbs, whatever the case is. So keep that in mind, that especially if feelings-based intentions are new for you, that doesn't mean you're not setting goals. That doesn't mean you don't have desires. You are allowing yourself, you are intentionally creating the feeling of what that goal feels like for you. So you identify a goal and you say, how would it feel to live that? How would it feel? What is the feeling I'm after by wanting this thing? So if you want a house, let's say you want the house of your dreams or to build a house, and you're like, okay, this is the goal. This is the thing that I want. And what feeling am I going after with that? Is it security? Is it, having a home of your own? Is it spaciousness, like going from a smaller home or apartment to a bigger one? Is it freedom? Freedom from having roommates, or the freedom to host dinner parties, the freedom to have a pet. What is that underlying feeling that you're going for, or that you are after, even if you're not consciously aware of it? Everything we want because we're looking for a feeling. We're after something. And so that's how you work backwards. You maybe identify your goal and say, what is the feeling that what's the feeling I'm after by wanting this? And then you say, okay, I'm going to set my intention for that feeling. And then you start taking actions to feel that way. And you start attracting opportunities. You find creative ways to qualify for a loan, maybe, or you look for property or for a house in a different way or in a different place than you would have before, because you're allowing yourself to manifest the feeling, which then inspires the actions that you take as well. So it's a big cycle. They're so interwoven. And so if you don't have a goal, I also like to say that's okay. There is no wrong way. If you don't have a specific goal, like a house or a job or vacations, then you start by asking yourself, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Do I want to feel more of what I'm feeling now? So if you're feeling happy, you just want to amplify that happiness. If you're feeling accomplished, or you're feeling proud of yourself for getting something done, do you want to amplify that feeling some more and lean into more of it? Or do you want to change how you feel? Like if you're feeling frustrated or stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill you, how do you want to feel? So don't think about, oh, I need to find another job, or, oh, I need to do this, or, oh, I need to do that. If you don't know what that is yet, don't spend the time or the energy trying to figure that out. Just say, okay, I'm feeling this way. I don't like the way this feels. How do I want to feel instead? And so by doing that, you also invite infinite opportunities to feel that way. You invite infinite opportunities to live that feeling in your day-to-day life, which then also attracts more opportunities to get clear on your goal, because you're feeling better about life. you're feeling better about yourself, or you're starting to. You're starting this practice of becoming aware of how you're feeling and how you want to feel. That's really the very basics of starting to work with the lunar cycle. Becoming aware of the feelings you like, the feelings that don't feel so good, where you want to change them, and which ones you want to pursue or amplify in your life at any given time or with any given lunar cycle, if you will. So let me get back to my notes about the new moon, or the Leo new moon. No. Open up. No, that wasn't it. Goodness. When I'm splitting my screen, it looks so small. Today is the 14th. Yes, there we go. Okay, so that is the Leo new moon. I also mentioned that we will be entering Virgo season on the 23rd, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we'll be entering Virgo season, which means the sun will be going into Virgo season. If there are any Virgos here, let me know. Carla, I'm just seeing the comments come up. Hello, my friend. How are you? That is what I'm doing, setting little intentions. Yes. And I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see your adventures also, just FYI. But yes, setting little intentions, like Carla said, and building on that. Building on it is much more effective than, let's say you're on rung 1 or 2 of the ladder and you want to jump all the way up to rung 10 or 25. That feels too far away at sometimes, right? So setting little intentions on how you want to feel and doing this moment by moment and taking actions moment by moment and day by day to help you feel that way is much more effective than going for that, big leap goal. Work your way up one rung at a time. And I will probably do a live about this at some point, but how you work your way up the emotions ladder, the feelings-based ladder. So because I talk about setting feelings-based intentions, there is what's the name of it? It's like an emotions scale and, the order that they go in. And so working your way up. So if you're feeling like really crappy and frustrated, it's not very realistic to say, I'm going to go straight to feeling, yay, the world is great. Everything is right with the world. That's a big leap. And it's not realistic. And it also makes you feel worse sometimes, right? So thank you, Carla, for sharing that. Taking little intentions, working your way up the rungs of the emotional scale. 1, maybe 2, if you can make a little bit of a bigger leap, but not going for the whole enchilada right at once. You eat the enchilada 1 bite at a time, just like anything else, right? So Virgo season, if there are any Virgos in the house, happy upcoming birthdays. And setting intentions with the moon is how we want to feel. Now with the sun, with the sign that the sun is in, this is where we set those goals that we can say, yes, we've achieved it. Yes, I'm getting close. Nope, I'm nowhere near it. And that's not really what I wanted, right? So Virgo is an earth sign. It is, I always think of organization because my mom is very organized, and I refer to her as the Uber Virgo because she can pack and organize and like balance a checkbook to the penny, like she actually loves doing that stuff. And that, I think, makes her feel safe, makes her feel, stable. And so she likes that organization. So me, I am very, let's just go with it and see what we can do. But when I need stuff like organized or packed when I was moving, she loved helping me do that. She fit things in little nooks and crannies and had the patience to sit there and figure it out, where I would just be like, get in what we can and we'll figure it out along the way. So Virgo is very organized, and let's see, I will go over some traits with Virgo. You might expect to feel organized, practical, very practical. That's a great word that I definitely associate with my mom. And finicky. I don't know about finicky, but definitely organized and practical for my associations with my mom. Because she's my example. She's my example of Virgo. Although the more I do this, I am meeting other Virgos, and it's so cool to see how a person with the same zodiac sign is different, and that's because of the different placements in their birth chart. Let's see. Hello, Molly. Been listening a bit while doing laundry and finishing up paid work. Awesome. I really need to work on not feeling bothered. I love that. Oh, now it popped up on my screen. It showed up on my phone first, your comment. On not feeling bothered, the Leo feelings. As a Leo, hello, Leo, fellow. Well, I'm a Leo rising. As a Leo, I tend to focus too much on some of the other qualities. Yes. Loyal, boisterous, etc., and not enough on my feelings of not worrying about that stuff that really doesn't matter. I love that, Molly. Exactly, because what we choose to focus on, that's where our energy is going to go, right? And so a lot of times those shadow traits, I will refer to it as that, because I don't want to say they're bad, because they're part of us, but those shadow traits tend to take over or tend to be our default. And so it's not that we're bad people. It's just like, oh, well, I want to now intentionally shift the focus. And so feeling unbothered, I'm so glad that resonated with you. And thank you for jumping on and listening while you're doing your stuff. I do appreciate it. Welcome. So Virgo is, let's see, analytical might be a word, and hardworking, practical, sensible, thoughtful, organized, neat, reliable, patient, kind, and meticulous. So come the Virgo new moon, you will also see those words on my post about feelings-based intentions for Virgo. But I bring them up for the goals because we work the way that I like to follow the zodiac is you set goals that are supported by the sun and the sign the sun is in. And then you set intentions that support and help you move towards those goals by becoming the person who has already achieved it. And so most of the time, I'm not going to say a percentage because I'm not versed enough to say that, but most of the time, the sun and the moon are going through the same season, if you will. So normally we have the sun moving into a sign, and then shortly thereafter, the moon moves into that sign, and we have the new moon when the sun and the moon are in the same sign. And normally it's starting close to the same time frame. Right now, because back in March and April, we had 2 new moons in Aries, it kind of shifted the way things work. So we've actually been in Leo season. The sun has been in Leo for almost an entire month now. And now at the tail end of Leo season, we have the Leo new moon. So instead of them working together, they're kind of doing like a relay. So we have the Leo new moon, and then at the start, and then shortly after, Virgo season is starting. So instead of having the same energies that we're kind of working with, we're like off kilter a little bit But that simply means that the focus might be a little bit different. And so I wrote down a sentence here to help exemplify that. With Virgo being very practical and very analytical and likes things organized, a goal that you might set in alignment with that is maybe organizing your house, maybe feeling more organized, or establishing some practical steps, right? Or how can I practically look at a goal that I want to set? But combined with Leo season, or with the Leo new moon, here's a sentence to combine those two energies. How can you combine intention to help with your goal? Methodically following your passion, right? You can be very methodical about following your passion. You can be very methodical about feeling creative. You can be very what are some of those words I just had? You can be very sensible about the steps that you take. You can organize the project, right? You can organize the steps. You can organize the people and the resources that you're going to need to follow your passion, or to pursue your dream, or to be more playful. You can be methodical about that by actually planning some playtime in your calendar. You can be very organized by making sure you have all of your supplies ready ahead of time, right? You can have all your supplies ready or organized in a basket or whatever, or having your clothes, like if you're going out on a nature hike or whatever. You can be very organized and methodical about taking the steps to be more creative. So see, you can work with the zodiac. It's just amazing. The more and more you get into it and finding these little nuances. And this is one that I really thought was good too, is Virgo can be very perfectionistic at times. So I wrote, stop waiting for the perfect time and start now. Because how many of us have waited or said, it's not the right time? I'm going to, it's not the right time to start this. I'm not quite ready. It's not, I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I need this first. Stop waiting for the perfect time and start now. Now is the perfect time. Choose to start. Choose to start being intentional about including playtime. Start to be methodical about calendaring your creativity, your alone time, your whatever it is that you're going to do, for taking steps or for learning the thing that you need to learn, to open the business or whatever the case is. So be very methodical, be very practical about following your passions, and organize yourself well so that you have the time to follow your passions and pursue your dreams. So set some practical goals for yourself if that's what you feel, and then get creative about how you achieve those goals. So that's how Leo and Virgo can work together. That's that fire energy of taking action and doing, and that earth energy about stability and practicality and organization and getting things done. Virgo also likes to be of service to people. And so how can you serve others practically so that you're not burning yourself out? I need to find the sign that says declutter girl. Yes. But maybe getting organized is a close enough. Yeah. Because, I can't remember the name of the show. There was a show, was it Trading Spaces, or one of those kind of like home remodel things, where really what they do is they pull everything out and they separate it into piles, right? Like keep, donate, sell, whatever. So maybe that is a way of organizing to get ready to declutter, right? So absolutely. Thanks, Molly. That was perfect. That's absolutely a perfect way to put those together. So declutter. There's so many good signs. There's so many good signs out there, and memes and things like that. So what else? Did I have anything else? I don't think so. I mean, just I did Virgo season. I wanted to go over some general themes. Now, these might be themes that you feel. They might be themes that help you set your intention. So some themes that go with Virgo season is, first of all, being of service. Like I said, so how can you be of service to others, but not burn yourself out? Because Leo might want to overdo, right? Like overdo being of service. And so how can you be of service to others and yourself? Make sure you're fueling your battery so that you can help others. Get organized and create routines. If you were here at the beginning of this live, you heard me talk about how this is a lesson that has come up for me. I had something a communication that got missed. And so the lesson for me is establishing routines or systems so that doesn't happen again. And it wasn't a catastrophic fail. It was just like, oh, beware. Like, look, this fell through now. So take care of it. Find a way to not let it happen so that in the future, it doesn't have a bigger, repercussion, or it doesn't cause a bigger problem. Because this was just like, hello, I'm just waving my, raising the little flag here is something to check in on. Investing in some self-development, whatever that looks like for you. Learning to, or taking the time to calendar some personal time for yourself, listening to some personal development podcasts, books, taking a course, learning how to set intentions with the moon and taking the time to do that for yourself. Self-care ties into that being of service to others. Take care of yourself so that you can then be there for others, and know that you are enough. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to prove that you are deserving. You are enough, and you are doing the best you can with what you know. And if you want to do things differently, if you want different results, then you invest in learning how to do that. You learn new ways of doing that and give yourself some grace and take care of yourself as you're doing so. It takes practice to learn to be different. It takes practice to show up as a different person than you are or have been. So taking care of yourself through that process and focus on your well-being. So self-care and well-being, like your health, are very connected. And those are very definitely some Virgo themes. Now, I'm going to now just kind of touch on some other things coming up, some other resources that I have to help you guys through or with these processes. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm live in 2 places. So I don't know if I type it on StreamYard, it will not show up in the Facebook group. It might show up on YouTube. So I'm just going to have to do it twice. In the Facebook group, this is how I'm going to resolve that issue. In the Facebook group, when this live ends, I'm going to edit the caption, the description, so how to have all these links available for you. First of all, tomorrow, which is August 15th, it is going to be, hi, Melody. I'm just kind of touching on the different things that are coming up to kind of help with setting intentions and learning about the zodiac and all those things. So thanks for joining in. Tomorrow, which is August 15th, right here in the group or on Zoom, I am having this month's free class. And this month's free class is astrology and manifesting, and learning how the zodiac can guide you on what areas of life to work on. So let me get that link. Oh, I am so excited for the day that I have 2 monitors. Right now, I don't yet, but I'm excited for the day that I will. So the link for the class, I want to do this methodically, very Virgo-ish to do it methodically. If I can find the right, there we go. Yes. So the class you can access here in the Facebook group, or you can access it on Zoom if that is more your style. And here is the Zoom link to register. And the reason you're registering, there is no charge for this class, but it's so that the Zoom link will be emailed to you as well as a reminder. And here is the link. You will not see this in the group. For those of you in the group, you will see this in the caption after the live ends. So let's see. All right, there we go. Register. And if you guys have questions or anything along the way as I'm typing this, feel free to post them now. And if not, then that's okay. Register for the Zoom link to get the Zoom link for the astrology class. And again, in the group, you won't see this because Facebook doesn't allow me to comment through StreamYard. But I will update the description. So it posted there. And then beyond that, if you're interested in working with what time? It's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. So what time zone? I don't remember what time zone you're in, Melody, but it's 11 a.m. Pacific, which will be 11, 12, 1, 2 Eastern here in the group or on Zoom. And the replay will be available on either format until the 30th, until we have the next full moon. Texas. So are you Central? Is that Central time zone? So 11 here will be 1 if that is Central. Texas time zone. Is Texas all in one time zone? I don't know. Texas is so large. I've driven north to south. The entire state of Texas in my life. But okay, so yes, Central will be 1 p.m. And if you're interested in having resources about each zodiac sign, in addition to these lives that I do, I have a Manifesting Me with the Moon DIY course. What this consists of is a lesson for each zodiac sign. It's got about a 10 to 15 minute recorded video, and it walks you through all of the associations of each zodiac sign. It walks you through associations that include the chakra that's associated with each sign, the essential oil, the archangel, the goddess, the planet, and the element. And if I'm missing something else, you will catch. So each one, like I said, has its own flavor. And starting last month, I'm now updating each lesson, each zodiac sign with a musical playlist of songs that also kind of go right along with the theme, the energies of the zodiac sign. So the playlist for the Leo new moon will be in there. I think it's scheduled to go in there tomorrow. Anyway, it'll be in there before Wednesday. So either it's going in first thing Wednesday morning, or tomorrow it'll be made available. And so if you want that, and there is no live component to that, like you don't have to join in lives, that it's all pre-recorded. You have worksheets for all 12 zodiac signs. And I like to think of them as Mad Libs for the zodiac, because you fill in the things that you want to include. And that I'm putting in YouTube right now. Again, Facebook, it'll be in there as soon as a couple minutes after this live ends. So the link for the Manifesting Me with the Moon is coming in just a second. Get Moon course here. And at least for Facebook, I will be able to copy and paste all these together. And I think that is it, at least as far as I have in my notes. I'm trying to run through my brain and see if there's anything I missed. And if this feels like a lot of information, especially if you're newer to this DIY, this type of DIY course is a great way to have these resources available to you at any time. And I also like the worksheets, whether you print them out or just kind of write things down on your own or keep it on the computer. You can track and document your work through the zodiac, the intentions you set, and how they progress, and the blocks and resistances and things that you come across. And then the music, because I've learned that incorporating music in some way in most aspects of my life really makes it better. I like, I've done that with this group. I've done that. I'm including it with the playlists with the zodiac signs. I have a manifesting playlist that I've made available. If you haven't gotten that yet and want the link to that, that's also free. Just put in playlist wherever you happen to be watching this, if you want the link for that. And I will include that in what I post, what I include in the descriptions as well. Okay, I'm feeling like there's a lot running through my brain, so I don't want to overload stuff, but happy new moon intention setting, happy upcoming Virgo season. And as always, if you have any questions or I've gone through this too fast or it didn't make sense, ask me. I know that sometimes my brain is all over the place. And sometimes I also think it sounds more confusing than it is because I'm thinking about it ahead of time and talking. So no worries about asking me for clarification or if you need some more information. And that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you all for being here live. And for those of you watching in the future on the replay, thank you for watching and participating along as well. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, for the class, or you can catch the replay of that as well. Bye. Take care.